The book of Galatians is not calm. It's not soft. It's not casual. It is Paul fighting for the gospel. He had already been to the city of Galatia. He preached salvation by grace through faith in Jesus Christ. Not works, not law, not performance, Christ alone. And the moment that he leaves, false teachers enter the city. And they don't deny Jesus, but they add to him. They say, yeah, believe in Jesus, but you also need the law. Yeah, grace is good, but you still need to earn it. And the craziest part is that the people didn't slowly drift. They quickly turned. And that's why Paul comes in hot in chapter 1, verse 8. It says, but even if we or an angel from heaven should preach a gospel other than the one we preach to you, let them be under God's curse. He says, even if an angel shows up preaching a different gospel, reject it. Because truth doesn't change just because culture is going to get louder. Not every message that sounds spiritual is from God. Not every Bible sermon is the truth. Not every platform with influence carries purity. The gospel isn't ours to remix. You can't modernize it. You can't soften it. You can't edit it so you can fit trends. You have to guard it. Because once truth gets adjusted to fit people, it's going to stop saving people. And then a couple verses down, Paul goes deeper. He says, am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. So basically, the question here is, who are you performing for? Because you cannot live for applause and live for God at the same time. One of them is going to win. Some of you are stressed not because life is heavy, but because you're trying to be liked. You're shrinking convictions, laughing at jokes you shouldn't be laughing at, staying silent when you should speak up. Why seek approval from a world that crucified a perfect man? If your identity is built on people's approval, it's going to collapse the moment they disapprove, and they will. When you stop performing for people, you start living free. Now, chapter 2, Paul confronts Peter publicly. Why? Because Peter was acting one way around Gentiles and another way around religious leaders. It's hypocrisy. And Paul says something that changes everything. I have been crucified with Christ and no longer live, but Christ lives with me. That's identity. Not, I'm trying harder. Not, I'm managing my image. Dead to self, alive in Christ. You don't defend your reputation when your life isn't yours anymore. And then chapter 3 hits. We love labels. Let's be real here. We love labels. Rich or poor, popular or invisible, athlete or artist. But Paul says there is neither Jew nor Gentile, slave nor free, male nor female. You are all one in Christ. At the foot of the cross, the ground is level. Your background doesn't give you bonus points. Your past doesn't disqualify you. You are not your category. You are not your stereotype. You are his. Comparison dies there. Superiority dies there. Insecurity dies there. And now in chapter 4, Paul says, you're not slaves anymore. You're sons and daughters. Let that sink in. Some of you are living like spiritual orphans, begging for validation, trying to earn love, terrified you're going to be rejected. But sons don't perform for acceptance. They live for it. Then in chapter 5, freedom. Everybody wants freedom. Everybody talks about it. But freedom in Christ isn't permission to indulge your flesh. It's power. Power to say no. Power to walk in love. Power to serve instead of self-indulge. The question isn't, how much can I get away with? It's how can I use my freedom to look more like Jesus? Because real freedom isn't feeding the flesh. It's living in love. And then chapter 6 is going to bring it home here. When someone fails, you restore them. You don't expose them, you don't embarrass them, you don't cancel them, you restore them. And you do it gently. Because the same grace that picked you up when you fell is the same grace that you are called to extend to other people. And watch yourself. The line between them and you is a thinner line than you think. Galatians is a line in the sand. One gospel, one identity, one freedom, one family. You don't add to it. You don't perform for it. You don't divide over it. You don't abuse it. You stand on it. So here's the question. Are you following what's popular or what's pure? Are you living for applause or from adoption? Are you using freedom to indulge or to love? Because eternity isn't moved by trends, and the gospel doesn't need editing. It needs guarding.